We've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there. Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Wow, talk about a big fourth-down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
They'll go again to McCoy. And some room to maneuver. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Play action. Now Wentz. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, Wentz. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And now the offense operates in the red zone. From the red zone now, Wentz. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
This passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ring.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown. Detroit. A great play there. 88 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And now back out comes the offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some.
And McCoy loses the football, and the Lions have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, here's Stafford. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Oh, some strong running. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He gets it to Thomas. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And it's a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And they're going to get this one up to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the left.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Telvin Smith coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, That's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Stafford now on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Too Tall Jones in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Here's Sam Martin now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. With it is Jackson. Fighting his way through contact. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll escape to his right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz bringing it in. Jackson left side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this 3rd quarter. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically halftime.
And I think the ball's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this 2nd half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the 2nd half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Going up, open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Tate, 33 yards. And the Lions take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Here's Carpenter now to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off at his own 46. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Wentz now on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the wideout in motion. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail. Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive. And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too. No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back them up halfway. Well, they're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line. When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble. The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17. Stafford
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it costs them 2 points.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ed Too-Tall Jones able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. A spin. McCoy's got the 1st down and more. And touchdown! LaShawn McCoy, 44 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Joey Bosa in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And pressure gets to him again. Ed Too-Tall Jones in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on 4th down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he's able to get it out of there. Taking it about the 36. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Wentz, got to have this one. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And from the 9-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, as always, partner, an extreme...
you.